Hello, I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. I've been a trader and technical analyst for the last 8.5 years. Today, I'm going to bring you a market recap for the day that Tesla had the dumpster fire, Wednesday, July 24th. Why am I wearing sunglasses? Because my screen is on fire and it's burning my eyes. I don't know about yours. Okay, enough silliness. Let's get to the charts. Looking at the heat map, it is hot, but it's not in the way we want it hot. This top left quadrant here, I would say this top L with the larger blocks that are this bright red, those are our largest constituents as part of SPY. And then you look at all the other hundreds, or let's just say 450, how many we have 500 in SPY, they could all be green. And when you have every major holding this red, more than 2%, more than 3%, 4%, there's hardly anything any of these other names could have done to pull the market out of the downward spiral. So it's really important to understand there wasn't a lot the bulls could do if Microsoft, Google, Apple, Tesla, and Nvidia are this heavy. And just a quick reminder, right after this video at 5 p.m. Eastern, I will bring you Ask Me Anything. And so the link will be in the video description and you can just go in there, type in your question, and I'll answer those live at 5 p.m. Eastern. Also, I want to remind you to give me a follow on X at ChartGalLori. And one more reminder or new information and announcement, we have a free trial going on. So you can sign up for a free trial, is limited to 50 members, and it will last for 2 weeks and it'll be free. That's the membership. The actual offer will be over when we fill it up, which usually takes about 36 hours. So get in there and sign up. All right, let's look at the economic calendar. So tomorrow we have continuing jobless claims, core PCE, GDP. Friday morning we have PCE, which is big data. So Thursday GDP and Friday PCE. Let's go look at charts. Huge daily bear flag, broke bear today. Now, this is not a candle close below the daily 50 MA. We did not get a candle close below, but we definitely threatened the daily 50 MA. On the weekly chart, we are still in an uptrend. So we have not lost the uptrend on the weekly, but on the daily, this is a pretty large down day, negative 2.26%, but NASDAQ definitely wins the award. A few hours ago, I would say with 2 hours to go in the market, I actually started to contemplate, what if we got a limit down because of the size and velocity that we were moving to the downside? It seemed so heavy that even a limit down could be possible. But I think that's over at 1 p.m. Eastern that you can no longer get a limit down. So I was wondering that mid-morning for me. Anyway, NASDAQ, we did not get to 19,000, and I would say we meaningfully lost the daily 50 MA, confirmed that daily bear flag on NASDAQ. We still have a weekly uptrend on NASDAQ, but this bear volume will be hard to shake off. What happened today? That's what everyone wants to know. It is my hypothesis is that this was people de-risking ahead of earnings. Netflix earnings was okay and it kind of sold off. Google's earnings was a miss. Tesla was a big miss. So if this is how tech earnings is, if this is setting the stage for tech earnings, what the heck is going to happen next week with Apple, with Amazon? We got Microsoft coming up, Meta coming up. If this is what's happened with these three and it's brought us down this big, I think people are just profit taking and exiting stage left or stage right, whichever one floats your boat, to just take some risk off the table. And we really saw that in the hedging. We got a daily higher high. We've got a daily uptrend on VIX. We haven't seen this in a while. Daily RSI is overbought. And on the weekly, next resistance is 2136. We were up almost 24% in VIX. So we'll see if this VIX can stay elevated and if the selling continues tomorrow, which is absolutely possible. And I know I, for one, would be interested in a buy if we gap down tomorrow. On all of this weakness that we've had, if we gap down, we could be at some historical RSI bounce levels on NASDAQ. All right, going back to RTY. RTY had a big red day. I was live this morning, live streaming, and I mentioned as soon as we hit the high of yesterday, We broke it by 11 cents. I'm like, that is a top fish opportunity. And what made it a top fish opportunity? Let me kind of drill down and hopefully not get you too sick. Why did it catch my attention? Because a lot of prior day highs get hit. Volume is our friend. It kind of tips the hat that, hey, this is for real. This is absolutely for real. And that bear volume that came in, I immediately said, this is a top fish setup. This is a short. Unless we break 224, that was my stop that I suggested for the trade setup. And then we immediately broke to new low of day. So that was pretty significant. And since we're on the Russell, I thought I'd mention KRE, which has also been the favorite child as of late. KRE hit the high of yesterday by 6 cents, and then we rejected. I posted immediately at this top. We're testing yesterday's high, and right now it's a double top. And then we gave it all back to a new low of day. So now on KRE, we could look for a top fish setup. This daily chart is still really healthy compared to other names. However, we have a clear resistance level to top fish. Getting back to the indices, looking at Dow. Dow did not make it to 40,000 psychological. And I think I have an alert. Let me set an alert for 40,000 psychological. I like to set alerts. I want to know when our key indices are at key levels. So the Dow is still looking for a daily higher low. It's not game over for the bulls yet, but on the next bounce, we'd be looking for a daily lower high. Bitcoin gave up a lot of its green that it had overnight. We had some green overnight, and then it promptly gave it back this morning. It could not withstand the market weakness, and it finally rolled over. However, we have confirmed a 4-hour downtrend. We have. So that weekly lower high is now set. Now, where do we set the weekly higher low is the question. Ethereum, we got the 4-hour downtrend. Hourly is oversold. Weekly lower high is now set. Now, where do we set the weekly higher low? Let's see if this daily 26 EMA can hold as support. Dollar, we have a triple top at 104.51, 104.54, 104.55. On the 4-hour, we pulled back from that triple top. We bounced, and now bears are looking for a dollar lower high on this hourly chart, and we bounced and made enough room for a higher low on the next pullback. Gold got a double top this morning at 24.33, 24.32, gave it all back. Now, if you're trading gold after hours, you'll be looking for a 4-hour and hourly lower high on the next bounce. Oil had inventory today. And the big picture on oil is we're looking for a weekly higher low here at the weekly 50 MA. A higher low is the more likely scenario. Daily, we've held the 200 MA. We haven't properly tested it, but we held it. We're having an inside bar right now. And the 4-hour got oversold. Looking for a weekly higher low, 4-hour oversold. I like the concept or the thought of oil long. I didn't take it today. I was just too caught up in the market, but actually this looks like a diamond bearish reversal pattern at the current time, but I have no trade on oil. That weekly higher low is still in focus for me, and I'll look to scout that possibly tomorrow. Semis were down 5.45%. Just incredible. These trending days, these are days that can make your whole month if you just let your winners run. Am I great at it? No. I can do it, and I do it often. And of course, I always want to, flex my holding muscle and do it better the next time. But SMH, just what a dumpster fire. AMD closed at low of day. NVIDIA, the incredible thing is NVIDIA had good news. They announced a new chip, and I forget the application of that chip and the function of it, but they announced it this morning, and they had no bad news. They had no earnings, and they had good news, and they still succumbed to the bear pressure, down really big, almost 7%. Apple had 2 upgrades this morning, but again, they couldn't stave off the bears. We are in a daily downtrend, and we're still looking for a weekly higher low, and we have earnings next Thursday after hours, along with Amazon next Thursday after hours, the Super Bowl of earnings. And I believe we have FOMC next Wednesday, so don't forget about that. All right, so Amazon, we're looking for a weekly higher low. This is a dinky pivot here, so we have enough room for a higher low compared to 173.87. It wasn't as heavy as Nvidia and other names, but down 3%. That's nothing that you want to, bring home to mom. So Google down 5% on earnings. Daily lost a 50 MA. Weekly, we're still looking for a higher low, if you can believe it. We're looking for a weekly higher low. Daily's not oversold yet. 4-hour is. If we can get a gap down on Google tomorrow, that could be a buy opportunity. Microsoft, to my knowledge, had no bad news, and they were down almost 3.6%. Weekly, we're looking for a higher low. Market's moving up a little bit. I don't know what earnings have reported so far. IBM just reported. So Microsoft is super weak. We lost the daily 50 MA and a daily downtrend. Weekly, we have enough room for a higher low. Tesla, we filled the daily gap. We came within $1 of filling that gap. 213.23. We were down 12.33%. Really bad earnings. The earnings numbers were pretty bad. So on Tesla, I'm not looking for a trade setup. I should finish that thought. On the weekly, we're looking for a higher low. 4-hour RSI is oversold, but oversold RSI means less when it's news related. Crypto names, they couldn't hold gains because Bitcoin rolled over. Early in the morning, they were pretty strong, relatively speaking, but they couldn't hold those gains with Bitcoin rolling over. Mara down 4.5%. Riot held up a little bit better, down 2.33%. Crowd, right at the end of the day, it lost the prior day low. Crowd is still getting pretty beat up, and this trade is getting crowded. Excuse my horrible pun. And if you look, we're bouncing right from historical RSI bounce levels. However, this is news related as well, so RSI may not be as important. Let's see if we can get this 4-hour and daily bounce going on crowd. XLF held up a little bit better than other sectors, but even XLF held up better. It still closed at the low of day. XLV really was showing out, got over the prior day high, and we closed with a potential hourly bull flag. This looks great. So let's see if XLV can keep going. But as you can see, XLV was not enough to hold us up. All right, join me in a little bit at 5 p.m. Eastern for Ask Me Anything. The link is in the YouTube description. And don't forget to sign up for that free trial. As soon as we hit 50 slots, it's over. We're closing it down. We don't do this often, so take advantage of that opportunity. The link is also in the video description. All right, you'll have a wonderful evening.